Welcome, Adam, the case study. So, Adam, when did you start using Cosmos?
So we started using Cosmos, I don't know, probably, I guess 18 months ago, maybe,
Understood. Yeah,
in the middle of the pandemic. So
understood.
we are a digital agency, 9 people, used to working in a physical space. We put a lot of
Yes,
love and effort into making it a really nice space for us to work and for our clients to come
yes,
visit us. And then obviously, suddenly, no one could go to the studio.
yes.
And so we
And
did a few months of, we were using other much more normal video tools, Zoom, Teams, Google Meet. And then actually one of our clients put us onto this. And as soon as we saw it, we were like, okay, this is going to be how we do video calls.
amazing.
Yeah, and I guess it started off, we were still using it in the same way as Google Meet or Zoom.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, we'll do a call, we'll go to Cosmos. And then we had a call with your team. Super useful. Your team throughout us coming on board have just been so engaged and so open to feedback and everything else. And they explained how the listening worked and
yep,
that side of things. So now we're in here all day, every day.
amazing. And what sort of made you switch to Cosmos? What was the problem you were trying to solve, which Zoom and Google Meets couldn't solve, and Cosmos solved for you?
Yeah. So that I guess there are three main problems or main challenges we had with this switch to fully remote working. The first was we were sick to death of everyone having different links
Yep,
for calls,
yep,
everyone requiring a download. And
yep,
like one person could get Zoom to work, one person could get Teams to work, and it was always problems. And I was fed up of having all these apps on my computer for calls that it's like I use this to speak to one client.
yeah,
It's really frustrating. So that was one problem. The second problem was, as I said, we put so much love and effort into making our physical space a
yep,
representation of us as an agency.
yep,
If you came to our studio, and it's only a little studio, but it felt like Maya.
yep,
We couldn't do that on anything else.
yep,
Obviously, as you can see, working with your team in Cosmos, we've made something that gives clients the same surprise factor and oh
yep,
wow. And it says so much more about how we want to work,
yes,
like our physical space used to do.
amazing.
So that's a big one. And the third one is just a super practical one. When we were working in Slack, we still use Slack actually, and we'd say, okay, we need to have a conversation about this. Okay,
Yep,
book it in the calendar. You book it in the calendar. Everyone always books half an hour or an hour even. Some people just book an hour meeting for whatever.
yep,
Diary's filling up super quickly with realistically 5-minute
yep,
conversation.
yep,
You know, Cosmos has enabled us to just pop over and say, I just need to ask you something really quickly,
yep,
and that more natural, organic way of having conversation.
yep,
And genuinely, I think the impact of the team all being in the virtual space and being able to just pop over and ask a question
yep,
has made so much difference to how the team feel. We're
yep.
not a group of people spread out all over the place working on our own thing. It makes us feel much more like a team, and that's been really important.
Yep, amazing. And sort of so when you do all your meetings now, do you do all your meetings on Cosmos now?
Yeah.
Amazing. So all the meetings are happening in the same space,
Yeah.
pretty much,
So
right?
So you can see just up from where we are, we have
Yeah.
meeting room 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So those are our client meeting rooms because, as you know, we can lock them, so we can get everyone in there and we can lock it, and it's a private meeting.
Shall we take a tour, Adam, around the office?
Pardon?
Shall we take a tour around the office?
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how difficult it will be to keep us all
Oh,
together.
we'll basically follow you. We'll follow you.
Okay.
Sharath, all good to follow? Yeah, amazing.
So, oh. So this is my favorite meeting room. I'm always in. But yeah, so we have these 4 meeting rooms, and actually the clients that we're working with all the time, we tell them we're meeting in meeting room 3 and they can make their own way there. So it's super useful.
Amazing. Yeah. The recorder board got stuck. Okay. Yeah.
This whole area is like our open area. So quite often we see the teams gathered around the tables. So the design team will be around the table. The dev team might be around one table. The marketing team will be over in the corner. And everyone's in listening mode. So, it's not like everyone's being watched or listened to the whole time, but it does just mean that you can just pop that off and be like, what do you think of this? And that's made a big difference.
Yeah, and apart from sort of this, doing the meetings, you're also using the space as a space where everybody is just available.
Yeah, for sure. So I think also clients really like that. Sometimes it's been a bit busy, but then sometimes a studio is busy, right? And so I think it's good that people can see there's people here, there's people working, we're talking to other people, and it just has a really nice feel like that.
So it gives the office vibe, basically, just the office environment, the feels of
yeah,
that there's a hustle and bustle and something is happening.
Yeah. I mean, we have a massive space for the size of our team, but it kind of works for us. And so over here, this is like our conference room. I added this welcome to my TED Talk note yesterday because I was just in here on my own. But we've used this for, we were doing some branding workshops with some local colleges, getting some younger people who are studying design to get involved in some local branding work. And we did all of it in here.
Wow.
So they came in here, and then for the whole day they were like breakout groups all over the map, and it worked really well. So that's good. And then I will show you around the top bit.
Yes, let's go. Nice.
And so this is like our main team meeting room. This is where we do our stand-ups every morning at 10 o'clock. Everyone meets in this room.
Amazing.
And then the room next door is like a private, we don't have team meetings in there, or we don't have client meetings in there.
Yep.
So the team can always be working in there. They can always lock it, and they know that they're not going to be disturbed.
I mean, so this is like a very designed space, which is very chill.
Yeah, exactly. Which was kind of how our studio aimed to be as well,
Yeah. And how does the team feel about using Cosmos? Like, what's the emotion around it?
I mean, I think you probably can tell by how engaged we are. Like, we love Cosmos. We love the product. It's made such a difference to us and being able to reflect our kind of energy, within a virtual space. That we just want to see it succeed. Like, we probably submit more tickets than anyone else of ideas for feedback and stuff. I don't know if that's true. Maybe you have loads of super fans around the world, but but yeah, I think also, like I said before, that the kind of response from the team
Yeah.
has always been so quick, so listening. Like the rollout of features has been so quick. And even there have been times where features have been rolled out and everyone's gone, this isn't working for me, and another option has come into place really quickly. So we really appreciate that, and we really appreciate the effort that was put into helping us create this crazy space.
That's a beautiful space. I think there's a lot of design thinking that has gone into this, and
Yeah.
but yeah, and then sort of like how would you describe Cosmos in a word, Adam? Like what comes to your mind when you think of Cosmos?
Hmm.
A word or 3 words or 5 words?
Um, yeah, I think it's the future of online working.
Yeah,
Um,
makes sense.
you know, I'm not going to lie, clients,
Yeah,
we have our initial client meetings in here, right?
yeah,
So quite often, the first time we speak to someone, they're coming into this space,
yeah,
and you can see on people's faces. Some people are like, "Oh my god, I love this."
yeah,
Okay, so instantly, as if they were walking into our studio. And some
yeah,
clients will be like, uh, "This is really weird. Why aren't we on a Zoom call?" Ugh. And either they come around and they're like, "Oh, okay, I kind of get it now," and because no one likes to be feel out of their depth or not know what's going on, or they don't come around and they don't see that actually this is a really useful tool. It's not like a
yeah,
gimmick, it's not a game, it's a really useful tool. If they don't come
yeah,
around, it's pretty much like they walked into our studio and were like, I hate this space. And it's like, cool,
yeah,
we're not going to work together real well. Like, it's
yeah,
just, you know, so, and I mean, at least three of our clients have immediately gone away, set up their own Cosmos spaces, and invite us
yeah,
into their Cosmos for meetings.
yeah.
So
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's going. I think everyone will have a space like this.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Let's see. Let's hope for that in the future. And sort of like Adam, in terms of sort of like how you use Cosmos, do you start your day over here? Like what happens across the day? Like if you could help us walk through the day, what would be happening? Does everybody sit here? Does everybody come in at the same time? What's happening?
Sure. So I will come in. I'll normally sit at a desk just so that I'm about if people
Yeah,
want to chat as they come in the morning, like just, hi, how are you? Like you would in a normal
yeah,
studio. Um, Everyone will filter into this space.
yeah,
And then at 10 o'clock, we have our morning stand up in the room that
yeah.
we're in now. Um,
Hmm.
we start with a kind of funny question and then go through how our
Yeah,
sprint's looking, how our day's looking, etc. Then everyone will go off to their own spaces, or if the people need to have a one-to-one chat, they'll just like, oh, we'll go to meeting room 3 or whatever. And then, yeah, like I said, people will find their own space. Like some people will hide behind a tree on a rug. I generally stay in this space.
yeah,
Like I said, the design team quite often is down on the tables. The development team is normally in the room next door. But that's just how it's happened. That's not like by design. And then we will constantly be having clients coming in and out,
yeah,
meeting in one of those spaces. And obviously, sometimes there's the chaos of people wandering around, not knowing where they are. Um,
yeah.
and
And do
occasionally something will happen that I need to let the whole team know, and I'll use the kind of tannoy system to get everyone together.
yeah, yes. And
Um,
do you sort of does it also happen that clients drop in? Like clients basically, if they have a question, would drop into your space because they know where you are.
yeah, it has happened. It's not something we
Yeah,
actively encourage.
yeah,
Um, it has happened, and it's fine. Like in some ways, it's really nice, right? Like that they feel they can just do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and obviously, it can be tricky. Like if we're in other meetings or whatever, we can't just be available. But generally, I think that's only happened, a few times, and generally, people just
Yeah.
find to turn up here for a meeting. But what we have also
Yes.
been able to do is have a meeting with a client. They need to carry on chatting, and we're like, okay, cool. Well, you just have this room, and we'll go elsewhere.
Yeah. Amazing.
So sometimes they need to. So we can use it in that way
Take
as
the
well,
space.
and they can have like a breakout chat, and then come back to us with like, okay, we've decided about this feature
Yeah.
or whatever. So that's really useful, and we wouldn't be able to do that in our physical space. In our physical
Yeah.
space, we had a meeting
And
room and the studio, and so we wouldn't really have been able to kind of let them have a side conversation privately and then come back to us straight away. So it's more
yeah.
efficient in that way.
Yeah, because you have an infinite real estate now. You don't have to
Right,
worry about
exactly.
the price and sort of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
space.
yeah. Yeah, we couldn't afford this
Yeah.
normally.
And and Adam, like sort of like, are you still do you still have a lease, like an office lease, or sort of is this your permanent office now?
No. So we weren't able to go back to our studio for like 9 months, and then it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I no one's been there. We need to cancel the lease.
Yeah.
And I think initially myself and the team, loved that space and were
Yeah.
disappointed. I think the reality is that now, if we tried to get a physical space and say, okay, people need to be in there, even 3 days a week, it would feel. I just can't see it happening. I think people are much
Do,
more used to the flexibility of being able to work from home. Uh, you know, every day we have people that like, oh, something's just not flowing. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to take the dog out, whatever,
yeah.
and I'll be back. And that's harder in a studio, I think.
Yeah.
We tried to create that in a studio space as well, but ultimately, I think there's maybe more barriers around it. Whereas in this space, it's really flexible, and so in many ways, it's kind of helped us achieve the work ethic that we and culture that we wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we try to meet up in real life regularly,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, because no matter how great this product is, it's still different.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Real
Uh,
meeting in real world helps
yeah,
to
for
build the
sure,
bonding
for
also
sure.
sometimes. Yeah.
I have more suggestions for features I'd like to see, but I don't think we
Amazing.
have any problems really.
Yeah.
Like I said, anything that like the navigation thing, the change to navigation was a big one for us. Like all of us, I think, experienced accidentally clicking and flying out of a meeting.
Yeah.
But obviously, you guys put in a kind of fix for that really quickly. Um, I can nitpick. You want me to nitpick?
No, I think that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I think thanks a lot, Adam. This was pretty good and
Cool.
very helpful. And
Good.
I will leave you for the next meeting.